This is Arukh Shulchan Yardeh Simon Lamed Vav Sif Test Yud Beis. This is day 212 of the Supplemental Arukh Shulchan Yomi series. Test. Well, it's a continuation of Ches. So I'll tell you about why the Ramah says it's treif if you have area of the lung which is peeled and there is a bubble in that area. And before he had spoken about Tata Reusa. And he said that Tata Reusa is not a general principle. Often it's true, but it's not a general principle. But so he says, so why here? Test. The time dins are nearly borrowed. It seems to be clear this is the reason for the timer. The Dana borrowed Shanigla Mikod. If we knew first that the peeling took place, the peeling took place first. And then the bubble came afterwards. Wouldn't be concerned. But maybe the bubble came first. And by the bubble, on account of the bubble, the upper membrane became peeled off. And once upper membrane is peeled up, it's obvious that the bottom membrane in this place was also peeled. Because there's the bua between the bubble, which is between the membrane and the flesh. And since it was so strong as to cause the upper one to peel off, it must have been strong enough to undermine the lower membrane as well, which is more closer to greater proximity to it. And afterwards there was a scab which formed. That's what the Ramah means when he says it should be. You have to say it's right because it's like a scab which came about as a result of a wound. Now it's a question of treifa. It's a question whether the peeling came first, and therefore it doesn't matter. The bubble came first, and it caused the peeling. To be peeled off. So this scab was a scab which came on account of a wound. According to this reason, doesn't matter what's in the bubble, whether it's clear water or murky water. It's treif no matter what. The bracket says just like the Shach said and see prima garim. Yud, according to our rationale, says HaShulchan, the lead is that niglad mixasareya, that where there's talking about where part of the lung is peeled. A place that is peeled, also bua, there came a bubble. But if they peeled a place much more than the place where the bubble is, so in that case it would be a kula. We're not concerned. Lomar to say Shema Bua Karma may say maybe the bubble came first. And it caused the peeling of the membrane. Because see the peeling off is much more than the extent of the bubble. So Simon Muvak, this is a clear cut evidence. The lava Bua Karma that the bubble did not cause this peeling. It's possible this kind of Ramah wrote the Lashon Zeh, this language. If the bubble is found on the place where the upper membrane is peeled off, in order to make this point with precision, that specifically where the bubble is on the place where the peeling took place. For lokai lo an nigla kulo, it's not going on where the entire upper membrane is peeled off. Because there was clearly that the bubble is not the cause of the peeling. It also doesn't write this halacha where it talks about the piercing, the puncturing of one of the membranes. When there's where there's a hole and a bubble, there's no concern. And because the hole would be small. And the bubble has to take up some space. And since there isn't on the entire space of the bubble a peeled off area, this is the reason. This is evidence that the non-account of the bubble did we get the hole here. I'm not sure I understand that because we haven't really dealt with holes. But in any event, he's saying where the in other words, let me clarify that. I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about. but he's saying that the bubble can't be related to a hole because there isn't peeling throughout the entire air of the bubble. I don't know. It's something which perhaps will come on later on. It'll come to later on. I hope so. The bracket says, "But they also with a bubble on the hole, and also when the entire area is peeled off. The total and show me the difficulty with the Ramah. According to what we said, it's very precise. Comes the mice, I'm not sure what to do. Without a substantial loss, it's treif no matter what. Anybody have to be could be very concerned if this is actually the case. Okay, so he's not so willing to be make a halacha ma'isa. Yudaf. V'das according to the opinion of the great according to the menikla kula of the all of it is peeled, rubo or the majority chamurio ser. It's more severe. Not like you just said. The treifa filuk shabui ma'im zakim, even if the bubble is clear water. I guess if the bubble is clear water, we're going to find out that later on that it's not an issue. We're not concerned with the hole. I'm guessing that's what's going to come out somehow. The Africa, I have learned chulin, and I have a recollection of this vaguely, but it's been a while. The Africa, the time tate reyesa, even though account of a double whammy, it's only if the bubble is murky water. Coco never came na coca godo, since the ruination is so great. Because we have the gelet here, the niklad. We're concerned also with clear water. The bottom membrane is also ruined. Or if there's a partial peeling or there's a puncture in the upper membrane, then it depends. If the bua is murky water, here he says, if it's clear water, then you can be machshir if there's a substantial loss. That's regarding Melabushe Srat. You'd base Okasaf, from our rights for the issue, some say Nafchul Area, if you inflated the lung, Nikra Kru Machmas and Aficha, and the membrane rips on account of the inflation, Treifa. Says Ramah, it's Treif. I can show you. V'chilkum said they drew a distinction in this. The Ma'aseh Shechul Yom. This happens every day. Shemachmas Chosel in Aficha on account of the strength of the inflation, Tishaver. Evidently, I guess it's a stronger inflation than the animal when it's inhaling, and it breaks the membrane. All the people check lungs say this. Later on the HaShulchan, nobody's concerned with this. It's the Bachanataz. Some say the marriage in the Nafchur Kedarka, that the say about where you inflate it normally, I guess, again, as an animal would inhale, that would indicate that if the membranes burst, there's a problem. That's the shach. Some say the marriage should talk about where around the place that's broken, there's a little bit of dryness. Another flaw. Kamara, such as in the way it looks, etc. Tashvir abi siman, that the breakage then is an indication that the dryness is actual dryness, which would be a problem, or mara trefa, or the way it looks is the way a trefa would look. So it's the shach. Yesh again those who do a distinction. The body might think chosakan fichon nishbra krumim v'gam basar atzma. If by the strength of the inflation the membranes break and also the flesh itself, we're not concerned. That's an account of the pressure of the inflation. But the Ramah's Meir said about the krum levad nishbru. The membranes broke below basar without the flesh. That's a sign there's something wrong with the membranes. You might say, if the reason was account of the strength of the inflation, then the meat would also break. And this is from Hagos or Baruch Frankel, and that's it for today.